Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily Reflections with Chris. My name's Chris, and this particular YouTube channel is based on a recovery book. It's called Daily Reflections. This book is I use it as a guide to share my experience, strength, and hope with you as it pertains to my recovery from alcoholism and drug addiction. And my name's Chris, and I'm really glad to be here with y'all. If you don't mind, let's get started. Okay, now, who knows what route it's gonna take? And yesterday it took us 41 minutes, and I really had a good time. But just for the sake of time, I know it's early. I know you want to get your day on. I know you may just want something easy. So here we go. February 24th, a thankful heart. I try to hold fast to the truth that a full and thankful heart cannot entertain great conceits. When brimming with gratitude, one's heartbeat must surely result in outgoing love, the finest emotion we can ever know. As Bill sees it, page 37. My sponsor told me that I should be a grateful alcoholic and always have an attitude of gratitude. That gratitude was a basic ingredient of humility. That humility was a basic ingredient of anonymity, and that anonymity was the spiritual foundation of all our traditions, ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. As a result of this guidance, I start every morning on my knees, thanking God for three things. I'm alive, I'm sober, and I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. Then I try to live an attitude of gratitude and thoroughly enjoy another 24 hours of the AA way of life. AA is not something I joined, it's something I live. My God. There's a lot of good topics to talk about. I don't know where to start, but here we go. A thankful heart, an attitude of gratitude, humility. My God, those three things, they go so far away. And I'm not the only one who says it. I've heard other people say it. Other mediums, I guess. I'm not a medium, but I'm saying other ways of obtaining emotional stability, some kind of recovery from hurts and hang-ups. The church says it. My pastor says it. Abraham Hicks says it. A lot of people I've heard say, in my journey, because we can talk about that too, but I've heard a lot of these. We'll talk about it in a minute. So I've heard a lot of these people say the same thing, that gratitude goes farther than all the prayers in the world. And then they even go on to say that one who is connected can do more than a whole bunch that are disconnected. So how do I get the connection? It's gratitude. Gratitude is how I get the connection between me and my higher power. Skipping this. It skips this completely. It just goes from here to here, right? This is a connection for me that is healthy to depend on more than this connection. This and then this. Without this, it just doesn't work. I've tried it. I've heard a lot of people try to guide me, guiding me. They are guiding me. They're not trying, they are guiding me, helping me, giving me suggestions, watching me, those friends that go deep and don't care about my feelings. They just care about me getting better. And they tell me this all the time. It's like, Chris, you need to make the connection. And sometimes it's mind-boggling to me. It's like, how do I do that? What do you even mean? And they say, when you know, you'll know. And I've had moments where connection has come true for me. And I'm not saying connection with other people, yes, is important to me. I mean, that's one of my favorite things to do, is to connect with people. I love, there's people at work I really love connecting with every single day, because it's just fun. It brings me joy and it brings me happiness. So I'm grateful to have those connections at work. I'm grateful to have those connections with my friends that I call and ask them how they're doing. I'm able to have those connections with my sponsor. I'm able to have the connection with my roommate. I'm able to, I'm grateful for all those connections. But before that, this connection between my heart and my mind and what God wants for me, it could get really so discombobulated, man. It's discombobulated in old ways of thinking, old habits, what other people think, what other people say, how other people make me feel, right? Even though they, recovery, it can be a little hard. They say people can't make you feel no way. No, people can't make me feel, but some of the stuff that people do, it's just crazy. I feel a certain way about the things that they do, right? So I try to be real careful about even that. It's like, the comment they made, was it about me or was it about them? I look at myself a lot. Sometimes I look at myself, I feel like I overlook at myself, right? I feel like, oh yeah, I have to be real careful when I'm processing a thought that somebody or something that somebody said, because I can easily get into what they said and what I heard. They might have said leaders don't act that way, or that was not a leadership way of behaving, or leaders don't behave that way. I can't even repeat what I heard because I at some point I disconnected, right? But with those little words that I got, I heard, I'm not good enough. I'm not a leader. I'll never be a leader. I might as well just stay in RCA forever. I might as well just go get another job. I suck. Oh my God. And I went there. I went there for like a whole day. And I had to come back. I had to bring myself back. I said, Chris, you got to bring yourself. How? I had to go all the way there emotionally, and crash and have an emotional crash, like a sugar crash, like a drug crash, like coming off, like getting there completely, getting to that spot where it's like, okay, I'm done beating up on myself, and coming back out, right? Getting back out of that dark spot. How did I do that? I said, okay, what she might have had something to do with the way I behave, but I know better today. And because I know better, I'm going to do better. And next time I do better, then the results will be different. And, and I started getting myself, I'm grateful that she had what it took to tell me that I can trust my boss to give me those suggestions, that I can trust her to be straightforward with me. I like straightforwardness. Straightforwardness makes me feel good. Straightforwardness brings relationships closer to me. I really appreciate her straightforwardness. Her straightforwardness is going to make me a better person. And I'm going to be a better person because of what she said. And because of what she said, I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to go and be a better person today. I'm going to look at my actions and I'm going to adjust and I'm going to adjust and I'm going to adjust and I'm going to adjust. Doesn't mean I have to change Chris completely, but what I did was not okay, and that's okay. Because now I know. And now I know what I want. And now I know what I don't want. And now that I know what I want, I can move towards that. And what do I want? I want to live a life of a leader. And leaders do this. What else do leaders do? Well, leaders do this. They're grateful and they're thankful and they make videos and they lead people and they help people and they create connection. Oh, I love connection. I just talked about, oh, connections make me feel good. Oh my God, now I have more than 2 connections at work. I want to make connections with my RCA friends. I want to make connections with my regular friends. I want to make connections with my supervisors and my 2-4Bs and my clerks and my inputs and everybody. I want to connect. Oh my God, this feels good to get to know people around me and get to be able to bond in a way I never been able to bond to. And before you know it, I'm thriving, right? I'm thriving again. I'm back to where I used to be. I'm back to where I was before I got caught up in all this he said, what they're doing and what they're saying. And oh my God, that took me to such a dark place that at this moment, I don't care what anybody's saying or doing. I'm caring about what this boy right here is doing. This man right here, this man of God, what he's doing, what he's saying, where he's going. That's important to me right now. I got up today and I got dressed. Where am I going? I don't know, but I'm open. I'm open to whatever the path has for me. The guidance that I get from being grateful. There is so much power in gratitude. So much power, right? This thankful heart is full right now. It's so full because life is good. I got a day off. Heck yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a day off just to have a day off. I was just having days off because it was closed, and then when they were open, I was working. Right? Holidays, I work holidays too. So to have a day off, I'm grateful to have a day off. Yesterday I was worried. I was worried that I'm not gonna make enough money for my rent. That's like my number one priority always, is to be able to make enough money for my rent, to give a little bit something to my tithing. You know, I can't always give 10%, but when I do it. And it brings me joy. It brings me joy to be able to do that, to get my paycheck and say, oh my God, I get to pay my rent. Oh my God, I get to tithe today. Oh my God, I get to go to a nice dinner. Oh my God, I get to do this. Oh my God, I get to buy some of this. Oh my God, I get to buy food. Oh my God, I get to buy my favorite conditioner, my favorite soap. Oh my God, I get to buy my favorite dishwashing liquid, or my favorite, I get to buy my favorite detergent. I get to buy my doggies their favorite food and their favorite treats. I get to take them out for walks. I get to, I don't have to worry about working every single day because I have a little bit of extra now. I get to just enjoy my days off and not have to worry about what tomorrow brings. I get to. And that's gratitude. That's gratitude for me. Because before I used to be, oh my God, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta pay this. Oh my God, how am I gonna do it? I don't even see. I wouldn't see where the solution. But now I can get there. Even though I didn't start there, I can get myself there. I can take myself there through gratitude, through prayer, to helping others, to reading my literature, to working on my goals. What are my goals? Okay, I know what the post office wants from me, but what do I want for me, right? And I want what the post office wants from me. I mean, we're on board. Has it gotten there quickly? No, it's taking some time. Some hurdles have come up, and that's what makes me nervous, right? Because I'm new to this, and I don't know exactly how to react to certain things. So I'm kind of like working through that right now. But in the meantime, what can I do? What can I do till the answer becomes clear? What can I do till the path becomes, unblocked? Because there's a block right there, whether it be the mini survey, whether it be regulars coming in, whether it be being overstaffed, whether it be understaffed, whether it be people moving in positions, right? Because everybody's moving. All the pieces are being moved right now, and there's a lot of moving pieces. Okay, we got the postmaster there. Whew. That was good. But what else? Now there's other things in the process. Supervisors, 204Bs, clerks, regulars. Everything is shifting right now. Everything is moving. And am I nervous? Yeah, I'm nervous. Because I've been here before and it didn't work out. And I'm nervous that this is not going to work out. Because history has shown me that it hasn't worked out. Right? But history has also shown me that Chris hasn't been acting right. And how can I be different today? How can Chris be different? Why? Because what lesson my friend tells me, ask God, what is it that he wants you to learn? Because you're willing to learn what it is you need to learn. And that's where I am right now. God, what am I needing to learn through this experience? Because I'm ready to learn. I want to learn, so I don't have to learn it again. So I don't have to go through this again. I want to learn. And folks, I want to learn, because this is not the first time I'm in this part of the process. Right? Yesterday, I talked to you a little bit about being in the same boat. Okay, I don't want to be in that same boat. Do I want to be in the same journey? Yes. Do I want to be down the same path? Yes. But I could be in a canoe. I could be in skis. I could be in a boat, a big boat, a little boat. I could be in a cruise liner. I could be in so many things. I could be in a paddle boat. I could be on a big duck, right? Oh, I've always wanted to be on a big duck, foot pedaling through this river we have here in Austin, Ladybird Park or whatever that river is, Colorado. And I think it's a Colorado river, but they call it a lot of things, here. And I want to be in a big duck, and I want to be paddling through there. God, that would be so fun. So awesome. That'd be so much fun. So those are the kind of things that I can do in the meantime. Till God works everything out, till God moves all the pieces. I could just be, in the meantime, working towards what I want. And I've been, those of you who know a little bit about me, I've been wanting to do this YouTube channel for years. And finally last year, I had the guts, the courage to start my YouTube video and share my experience, strength, and hope with you guys. that I could help somebody, at least one person. If not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe 10 years down the road, because these videos, they stay on the web forever. And even if I could delete them from my phone, but they'll always be in the YouTube verse, right? In the YouTube universe. So maybe somebody down the road will look at this video and say, man, I totally get that today. I'm there. I agree. And yes, it's easy to get out of this mess with my own thankful heart. A little bit of gratitude turns into a lot of gratitude, and a lot of gratitude turns into change attitudes, change actions, change motivations, change dreams, change miracles, change, a bunch of things that I was blocking by my dissatisfaction, my ungratefulness, my taking things for granted, right? We talked a little bit about that yesterday. What is the opposite of awe? I went from, oh my God, that is amazing. Wow, how did that even happen? To like, oh my God, it's not going my way, and I'm so upset and I'm so pissed off. And this is true, guys. This is where I was just last week. But today, through this process, through being open to the suggestions, to doing things even when I didn't want to do them, to going to meetings, to carrying the message, to being a speaker, to being a motivator, to be a helper, right? To bringing ideas to my group, to being part of a big whole movement that has helped a lot of people recover. In the beginning of the Bible, it says that we are a group of people who have recovered from a hopeless state of mind. We have recovered from a hopeless state of mind. When that became true to me, everything that they said to me before felt a little false, but at the same time, I felt the deep of the program, because I felt shallow before. Okay, you're gonna teach me how not to drink. You're gonna teach me how to stay sober one day at a time. Okay, I wanted that, but more than anything, I wanted to know how to get out, how to be relieved, how to recover from this hopeless state of mind. All these thoughts in my head that were telling me that I'm going to be just like that person, that I'm never going to get better, I'm never going to break a cycle. What I want is foolish. What I want is foolishness. Don't do that. What are the people going to say? All these things that happened between this year and this year, some of them be way beyond my control, are the stuff that were keeping me hopeless. And here they taught me. Here they're teaching me how to recover from that. How do we recover from that hopeless state of mind? And today is to have a thankful heart. So today, I just got off of a live that my pastor was encouraging. Our prayer call, she calls it. She prays for us and encourages us, right? And she was talking about the same thing that this book is talking about having a thankful heart, of getting out of God's way, just letting Him just do what God's done. God does things behind the scenes that I never get to see, that I never get to experience. All I do is get to experience the fruit of that. The fruit of what God does is that I wake up and I'm not wanting to kill myself. I wake up and I'm not wanting having a drink. I wake up and I still have a job. Just, they give me a day off and I feel like, oh my God, I'm not going to have work. And I do have work. I just have a day off and I'm not used to having days off. So I don't know what to do. I don't know how to take that. And I take it like I'm fired. I'm not fired. I just have a day off. So that kind of thinking, that hopeless state of mind, that stuff that happens in here, how do I relieve that? As I give it up, I let God do what He knows how to do. I know that He's working it out. And in the meantime, I'm just going to have a thankful heart. I'm going to be open to whatever God is guiding me to do, just like He guided me to start this video early in the morning today instead of late at night when I'm all stuck in my thoughts. So it's pretty kind of early, not real early, but it's still early. I've slept in, I took a shower, I got on my call, I took my meds. I'm here now sharing with you that there's hope, in recovery. Maybe you're feeling like, I've tried this a million times and nothing works. Everything I do comes out, I fail. been failing. I'm never gonna. It's always gonna be the same. I remember those moments when that moment when I just totally surrendered, I totally gave up on me, myself, on life, and I said, well, I guess this is what my life is gonna be forever. Just chasing a high, chasing the drunk, trying to feel different. I guess this is what I'm gonna live, because I've already been watching people in my family live that way, die with the beer next to them. You know, they're gonna drink till they die. I've heard it several times in my family, you know, my family dynamics. And I said, okay, I guess this is it. This is what I was born into, and this is what I was being forever. And I was sad because I knew deep down inside that's not what I wanted. I wanted a life of more. I wanted a life bigger. I wanted a life of my dreams coming true. I wanted a life beyond my wildest dreams. I wanted a life that when I die, I want to be proud of it. That I don't want to die with regrets. I don't want to die with I should have and could have. I want to die with the life that I could look back and say, my God, I lived it well. It was freaking awesome. Thank you for the journey. Thank you for the ride. And that's what I've always wanted. But I didn't know how to get it. Folks, shortly after that, I got into you know, I got really drunk, and then I got really high, and I got into a really bad accident. And the consequences of the accident are like probation, court lost relationships. You know, there was somebody in that accident with me, and they didn't die, and they didn't get hurt physically, but their emotions was hurt. They're scared. They said, I never want to talk to you. It's like, I gotta pay for your hospital visits. They said, I don't care. I don't need you. I don't need your money. Stay away from me, they said. And that's what I did. But it was a great loss in my life. I cared for that person, right? We were in a relationship. Because of that, you know, they made me do all these tests, and they said, well, Chris, we don't know if you're, one test you're alcoholic, the other test says you're not, so we're not sure, but here you go, do this anyway, it's part of your probation. So they sent me to Alcoholics Anonymous, and I started going. They said, just go 2 days a week, and I was like, okay, that's good, it'll be easy, right? Won't really mess up with my drinking schedule, my drug, because I was still drinking and drugging. Folks, that wasn't enough to get me to stop. If it was, I would have stopped a long time ago. If it was, I wouldn't be making these videos right now. If it was, I would have never made, I wouldn't be where I am now. But there's something different about me, right? Because I have this mind, because this alcoholic mind, these, you know, addictive tendencies, these things. So my mind is different, and it was different. So they said, well, just go 2 days a week. And I was like, okay. So I started going 2 days a week, and I didn't know what it was. I was like, my God, I better not be late. And I didn't have a cell phone to be on, because cell phones were still kind of new when I first came into AA. So there wasn't a lot of cell phone problems in the rooms like there is now. But I said, let me not be late, and let me not go drunk. So I didn't drink before the meeting. I got there on time, and I slept through the whole thing. And then I'm pretty sure they tell me some key stuff that I kept, right? And the only thing that I kept from my first meeting was, you never have to drink again if you don't want to. Of all the things that I heard, that's what stuck, right? So I go to my next, I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I go home and I get drunk, and we go party, blah, 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 blah. Go party again. Next time there's a meeting there. It was like 5 houses from where I used to party. This meeting, it was weird. Which is, some stuff's clicking now. But we'll talk about that later. Let me try to stay on task, so we're not here for 40 minutes, right? Okay. Not that I mind, but I really don't want to take up your time. I feel like I have so much time right now. So then it's like, okay, there's a meeting on Thursday too. Let me go to this Thursday meeting so I don't get drunk before the meeting or drink or anything. I don't go late, and I show up, and they're like, they brought donuts. I was like, what? There's donuts? Oh my God, there's coffee? Like, what? Was there donuts and coffees here last time? I don't know, because I slept through the whole, I don't know what there was, right? So I was like, okay, and mind you, I'm still drinking, I'm still drugging, I'm still chasing it, I'm still up till 3 in the morning, knocking on people's windows, trying to get some more stuff to get highway. I'm still looking for after hours booze. I'm still doing all this. I'm still driving. I'm still without a license, drinking and driving, getting high. I'm still doing all that stuff, right? I'm still doing even more. I could really get deep into this, but I was still doing all those things that I said I would never do, just to get higher, to get drunk, and I'm broke. I'm not just broken, but I'm broke financially. So I was like, okay, free food. I can do this. I can do this. So I would go to the meeting. So I went to the meeting. I saw the donuts. They're like, you want donuts? Like, yeah, I love a donut. I had like 3 donuts that day, and I drank like 3 cups of coffee, right? Why? Because it was free. And I rested. And I napped the rest of the time. Because these Spanish-speaking meetings are 2 hours long. And that's another story, right? My first meetings, what they were really like. So then I started going 3 times a week. I was like, okay, because I had meetings there 5 days a week. I was like, okay, so now I'm gonna go on Monday. So I went on Monday. Went for the donuts, right? I was broke. I'm still doing the thing. So I'm like, okay, I know they have donuts there. I know they have coffee there, and I can rest. I can rest. When I came to it, I was like, oh my God, I can rest. Because as soon as I leave here, I'm going to go back out there, and I'm going to go get drunk, and I'm going to start chasing the drug, and I'm going to start chasing the alcohol. I'm going to start chasing the women. I'm going to start chasing the money. Start chasing and chasing and chasing and chasing till I can get back here again. And before you know it, I started looking forward to these meetings. And before you know it, I wouldn't drink before the meeting, and I wouldn't drink after the meeting. And before you know it, something happened inside of me that says, I want to try this. I want to try not drinking and not drugging for 1 year. That's it. I want to try it. I mean, they used to say things to me like, any dummy can stay sober for 1 day. Right? Those are the kind of stuff that they tell me. Any dummy can stay sober for 1 day. And I said, man, you know what? This dummy wants to try to stay sober for a whole year. And so that's what I did. That was on my journey. That's how my journey started. Right? So 3 months in, see, I can stay sober. I cannot drink, just not wanting to drink. Maybe I go through a scare and I'm like, okay, I gotta cut it out. Let me not drink. Let me not drink for this month, right? Let me give it up for Lent, which I never could. So if you can give it up for Lent, good job. I cannot do that. I mean, I can't give it up for Lent, but I'll just pick it back up as soon as I walk out the church. That's been my history. So 3 months in, because for 3 months I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing this. It feels good. Oh yeah, it feels right. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do. 3 months in, life started to hit harder than it had hit me before, because I'm not drinking. So now guess what? I'm feeling everything. I'm feeling all the emotions, all the excitement, all the depression, all the thoughts driving me crazy, all these ideas in my head that I want to do this, but I'm bogged down by this. I want to go here, but all this stuff is still in my life. I will still have all this stuff. I didn't know how I was going to fix it. I didn't know how it was going to get fixed. It felt like after 3 months, it felt like it hit me all of a sudden, like a ton of bricks. And then that's when I had to, for me, if I wanted to stay sober for the next day, I had to do something that I hadn't done in a while, in a long time. Probably I'd never done it, right? Let's call my sponsor. I had a sponsor, but I didn't know what a sponsor was. I'm new to this stuff, right? Let's call my sponsor. She gets me started on some service work. She gives me some easy prayers to start praying. She starts taking me to the steps. And I'm staying sober through this whole thing. At 6 months, I was like, hey, guess what? She's like, what? I said, I have 6 months sober today. She was like, you do? And I said, yeah, I have 6 months sober today. And, I hadn't got a chip or anything like that. I still didn't know what to do. I mean, I see people do it, but I never really asked what that was about. And she said, that's awesome. She saw her sponsor pass by and she's like, hey, this dude was good, man. He was good. You know, I moved away when I came back. Yeah, I already passed, but man, that guy was freaking awesome. He was a really good AA'er. And he would talk and his teeth would be like falling out, but he was legit. He was 100. And so she said, hey, guess what? Chris turned 6 months. He's like, oh, good. You're going to tell your story at Club 12 on Friday. And I said, what? And I was like, no, I don't. No, thank you. I appreciate it. Congratulations. It's fine enough. You know, they even gave me a chip that day. And my sponsor says, no, you don't say no. When they ask you to do something, you don't say no. You just go do it. So at 6 months sober, I got to share my story for the very first time at Club 12. And guess what? I was still so coming off the highs and the drunks. I was so close to that what I shared was connecting with a bunch of the other people that were really close to that. All those people, all those ladies in rehab, all those men coming in newly sober, they were connecting. I made a connection with them. It was really cool. It's a really neat spiritual experience there for all of us, I think. And they only give you 15 minutes. They're like, okay, you're gonna share a story in 15 minutes. And I was like, oh my God, here we go. Boom, chuckle. And I started talking, and the connection was so real and so awesome. That I had the people in the crowd hooping and hollering. I had them cheering for themselves, man, giving themselves props that they hadn't drank today. Because when you're not able to drink or drug, not for 1 day, not for 1 second, not for 1 minute, that I had to go to the restroom to drug myself up in my breaks, even when I didn't have breaks, and get high and steal from my bosses to get drunk. I was still food, I was still booze, I was still, like money. I would do stuff like that to get high and to get drunk. And when you come from there to being able to share with somebody that, hey, I've been doing this for 6 months and it feels good, it feels right almost, and I wasn't always like this, and I tell them a little bit of my experience, and man, it's just it's really hard to kind of there's a reason they talk about the Kodak moment. It was like a Kodak moment. The Kodak moment is very like you had to be there moment. It was so awesome. It's really hard to explain. It's hard for me to bring that picture to life, but man, what I felt that day was like, whoa. It was, whoa, I never felt that before. And so my journey continued, right? And then I made it to a year. And I remember my sister, man, I love my sister so much. And she knew she was keeping track, and I didn't know that. And she said, Chris, you'll be a year tomorrow. And I was like, I know, how exciting. And she said, yeah. She said, I'm proud of you. And I said, thank you. So then the next day, she said, you're a year today. I said, I am. I said, we're going to have a party at my club. You should come by. And she did. And, at that Goliath group, when you turn one, you give a little speech, like 30 minutes or whatever. And that day I wasn't, and they picked one to be the speaker. And that day I was a speaker. They had picked me to be the speaker. And, I'll always be sad that my sister and my mom never really heard the stories, the speaker sessions that I have now compared to that one that they heard. The one that they heard was like, I was nervous wreck. I didn't know what to say or what not to say. My family was right there. I didn't want to hurt them. So it was kind of closed off. But now I'm such a different person that I really wish they could have seen me. Like right now. Because my story is like so much different now than it was. Mostly because I didn't have the clarity that I had, that I have now. I didn't have it back then. So those moments were like, they were nerve-wracking, but they were there and they supported me, and I appreciate it. Oh my God, I love it. My mom was there, my sister was there. It was so awesome. The next day she said, "Hey Chris, have a beer with me." I said, "You know what, Marty? I think I'm just gonna try this. It's one day at a time." And she said, "Okay, well maybe tomorrow." And I said, "Yeah, maybe." I never drank with my sister ever again. We never had a beer together. Even at her funeral, my mom was like, "Hey, you can't even have a beer with your sister?" I said, "No, Mom. It was the last thing on my mind. I had so much paperwork to do and all this stuff. I'd never done none of that before. Last thing I wanted to do was drink." I remember one time further down, I had relapsed at 3 years sober, and then and I was coming back, and it was hard because when I came back into the rooms, it was hard for me to admit that I had relapsed, right? So after coming back, my sister died. She didn't see me get drunk those times. I hid my drinking on that relapse. So we didn't drink together, right? And so I stayed dry. And then my sister died, and my mom says, "Don't you want to drink?" And I was like, No, I don't." I was real miserable. I didn't have a sponsor. I stopped praying. I wasn't doing the steps. I wasn't going to meetings. I was just not drinking. And I don't recommend that for anybody who's like me, right? Who's alcoholic like me. I don't recommend trying to do this all by themselves with their own thoughts, their own old ways of thinking, with their machismo attitude. I had a lot of that growing up. And so I remember one time, man, life was just sucking. It was sucking hard. I mean, like, oh God, it was horrible. And I always had a plan, right? I said, if I ever relapse, I'm gonna go drink a beer with my sister at her graveyard. That's what I want to do, because we never drank again together. And I felt like she always wanted that, and it was something I couldn't give her, right? So one day I was like feeling horrible. I was like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drive to San Antonio right now, and I'm gonna get me a beer. I'm gonna go to the cemetery, and I'm gonna drink it with my sister. I was feeling that horrible, so freaking horrible. I mean, life was just horrible. And it felt that way, right? Because, mind you, sometimes it could be good on the outside, but in the inside, I can't see hope, right? I can't see a way. Honestly, it's like there is no way. So I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I get in my car and I start driving. I'm driving. And my friend calls, "Chris, come over here right now. I need you right now. Come to my house right now. What are you doing? I said, "I'm not doing anything. What's going on?" She's like, "I need you to come to my house. I need you to come help me." And I said, "Okay." So I went to her house and I went to go. And who knows? It wasn't even like something major. It was just something. It was probably like moving a piece of furniture or something. I don't know. My friend Yaya, she gets these weird thoughts, and she's like, "Chris, I need you to come and help me right now." And I went to help her, and I don't know if I ever told her this story, but she saved my life for that one day that she called and said, "I need you to come help me." And I didn't drink, and I still didn't drink. I mean, I can't remember. I've had a couple of relapses, so I think, but that day I didn't drink because my friend called me. But I was on a mission to go drink with my sister. And sobriety, it's just, this journey is so full of adventures. Some are good, some are bad, some are crazy. Some are intense. My biggest thing today is not to hurt anybody while I'm on it. And even that, I gotta be careful. Some people get hurt even if I don't mean it. Everybody's dealing with their own things, their own hurts, their own hang-ups, whether they're in the program or not. And I just want to coexist with them. That's what I want. It's not about conforming. It's about coexisting with them to the best of my ability. And for today, part of that is to be thankful. To be thankful for them. To be thankful that, you know, there's this little exercise that one of my life teachers does that I think is pretty neat. I like to do it too. When I remember to do it, when I'm like not stuck in all my thoughts, right? It's like, I'll start. She does it with food. I've done it with food too, but I don't have any food right now. But I'm gonna start with this pen. See, thank you for this pen. Thank you for the people who created it. Thank you for the people thank you for this rubber right here. Kind of gives it a really nice grip. Thank you for the people who made that rubber. Thank you for the people who showed up to work that day to make this. Thank you for the people who are behind the scenes supporting them, making their lives. Thank you for the people who motivate them to fill out the application. Thank you for the people who created those people that are behind the people who motivated this worker who showed up to work that day to make this rubber thing. That when they assembled it, those people on the assembly line that put this together so neatly, so finely, and then put it in a nice little box with wrapping. They printed the name on there first, and they put a nice little box, they wrapped it, and then they shipped it out to this client right here, Century Communities. I'm not talking about the pen, okay? And then that somehow whoever got that pen from there somehow made it to my desk, and now I get to write with this. Ooh, wasn't that cool? That was a lot of people. Wow, that's a lot of things to be grateful for. And then when I wrote some prayers down yesterday. That's another. I could tell you another story, but I'm gonna try to. I'm already at 42 minutes, so let me keep it short. And that when I write this pen in my prayers, and I say, "Ooh, it writes." That I don't have to go searching for another one because it writes. As soon as I put it down and started writing it, the blank ink started coming out and my words started to form. Thank you. Thank you for the people who wrote that Bible, who wrote those prayers, who put it in the hotel room, who provided a chair for me to sit down, provided the lamp that I turned off, who taught me how to read, that when I opened it, I could read. So much to be grateful for. This life is really, really good. Today I was reminded that I have a choice, that it could be a good life or a bad life, and the choice was mine. Thanks, Pastor Kim. So I talk about my pastor a lot, Real Talk Kim. She's really neat. She's a really neat gal. I'm really grateful that she's in my world. My home group is Grupo Montopolis in Austin, Texas, 4410 Norwood Drive. My best friend is Yaya Lopez, that I love so much. And my sponsor's name is Ruben. I have a wonderful roommate named Bree, and 2 dogs, Aaron and Kimberly. And I'm so grateful for all of them. My boss, Brenda, supervisor, Sabrina, all the RCAs at my work, David, Casey, the regulars, Stephanie and Phil and Jay, and all the people who do contract work, the clerks like Andrea, Tracy, and Dusty, and Roger, and Karen. Thank you. All those people that brought the mail, all these people working at the plant, sorting the mail, all the people who write letters to their friends or write checks to their payees, to their, where they need to go. And they put them in this envelope, and they put a nice little stamp in the corner. It pays my wage. Thank you. Thank you for all that. Life is good. I'm so grateful to be a part of this big, big world. And I'm grateful to have you in my life. Whoever's watching this, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to me rant, to listen to me talk a little bit of my sobriety, to listen to me be in this moment. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to listening, to reading through your comments. If you have any, please share this with somebody who you think it might help. You can share it on YouTube channel. You can share it on your news feed and your Facebook, whatever. I'm open. Share it wherever you want. Copy the link. Share it privately. I know recovery. That's kind of like it's anonymous. It's an anonymous program. I know that, and it's not easy to admit. So there's really neat ways you can share this with somebody without sharing it to the whole world that you shared it with somebody. But if you want to share it to the world, please do. I will be so, so, so grateful. And thank you for all those who keep watching. I love you. We'll see you again. Bye.